Hi guys, I'm Ferdinand and welcome back to Blended. Now before we get into today's episode, just a reminder that our new Blended community is live. If you're finding blended family life hard, feeling alone, or just wishing you had people around you who truly understand, this community is for you. It's a safe, supportive space for anyone navigating blended family life, where you can ask questions, share your experiences, connect with people who truly get it, and access exclusive content. The link is in the description below and in both mine and Blended's Instagram bio. If you'd like to join us, then we will see you there. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Mwah. Hi guys, I'm Ferdinand and welcome back to Blended, the podcast where we talk honestly about family life, co-parenting and everything in between. Now, before we get started, please make sure you subscribe, you rate and review because it really helps more people find the podcast and it keeps these conversations going. Now, today we're diving into child behaviour from screen time struggles to sibling aggression and how to handle those big emotional moments. I'm joined by my co-host Nathalie Holmes-Lewis and a very special guest, parenting and child behaviour specialist, Kaur Mehra. Welcome, San. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling, ladies in London?
It's grey, it's miserable, but I'm feeling great.
Yeah, you look good. The hair, I'm loving the blowout. It looks really good.
Thanks, babes. Did heatless curls, you know. I've watched the last few episodes. I'm like, girl, you're on telly. Make an effort. Do you know what I mean? Wash the barnet. So, yeah, I did.
That looks lovely.
Thank you.
Does heatless curls stay in for you? Because it doesn't, and it's so uncomfortable to sleep in. Do you not find?
Do you know what? I bought the got them on Amazon. You know, you clip them into like little rings. So you do them, clip them into little rings, and then they come with like a little mini bonnet that you put on top of each one. So like I did one there, one in the middle and one at the bottom, and slept just fine. Very comfortable. More comfortable than like the long one where you have to wrap your hair around it and then kind of clip it at the top. I find that one like tugs and pulls, but with the free ones, it was all right. Looked crazy though. My husband's like, what's going on here?
I sleep with a bonnet sometimes, but my hair, which you'd never believe, by the way, my hair never stays in place. So I actually I've gone like a level up, you'll be quite proud of me, and got the net, is that what you call it? The net that you wear underneath the bonnet?
No way.
Yeah. Can you believe that? Like, well, I told my friends, like I've got like some friends and they're like, no way. I can't believe that you're doing this. But because my hair doesn't stay straight, otherwise it gets a little kink up here at the front.
Yeah.
So I've been doing the net and then the bonnet and it actually works. It was unbelievable, but I still have a really uncomfortable sleep. I'm not used to sleeping with it on.
Do you, does it happen if you sleep with like a silk pillowcase?
You know, I've got some new silk pillowcase. That's actually, I've been doing a lot, by the way, because I just feel like I don't want to style my hair every day. So I got a new silk pillowcase and actually that does the same thing as the bonnet, really.
It does. And I find if I put my hair like in a top bun with like a silk satin, like really thick scrunchy, like padded one, so it doesn't leave any kinks. And then like if I did that tonight with my hair like this and then slept on a silk pillowcase, when I let it down, it will still be in the waves. Last about 3 days and then I'd have to do the heatless curls again. But I find like between the silk pillowcase and the like the thick silk scrunchie, you can really like maintain soft waves. That's my top tip.
Wow, we are hair influencers now, guys.
I know, right?
And San, you've got amazing hair as well, so
Gorgeous.
We're not leaving you out of this.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Really good.
How did we achieve this look today?
How did I achieve this look? Well, I used to be a makeup artist, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I used to be
tell.
a bridal hair and makeup artist. So, yeah, I just use GHDs.
Okay.
Yeah, and just brush it out. But my hair's naturally curly. So when I've been swimming with the kids and stuff, I just leave it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I try and do it as often as I can because like we were saying earlier, like once you've lost them curls, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, we're in a weird in-between space, which is the ghetto. It is not nice here.
What, so because you've lost the curls, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, my curls, I'll never have unless I cut it off and start again, I'll never have the same tight curls. But I'm pretty sure I straightened it just before we started recording like the first series with all of us. So I don't think you've actually seen like my big curly afro, but yeah, I used to have a big curly afro, did a keratin, it's never coming back.
Okay, San, I am kind of obsessed with your social media because I feel like I'm in the depths of parenting young children, which can be interesting, and you help so many people. But what is the most kind of common concern that parents come to about their children's behaviour?
Do you know, it varies. It really varies depending on the age of the child. A lot of it is arguments, defiance. It can be tantrums, and there's always an underlying issue. So when I work with parents, we're trying to work out what the root cause is. What's the why behind the behaviour?
What is the age that you start at, really? Can any child have help?
Yeah, I tend to work with children between the age of 3 and 15 because the strategies I use tend to be for children of that age. And usually I work with children, parents of children who are not sort of vocal. They are vocal. So if they've got mutism or severe disabilities, then I wouldn't tend to work with those parents. There's specialists for that kind of thing. But yeah, I work with children, with parents of children who have between 3 and 15.
Okay, amazing. I think this is such an interesting topic because being a biological parent, you need all the help you can get, really. And when a blended family is in that, I feel like it's got a higher level of like stress because there's just an extra added layer. So I think this chat will be really useful around like helping people with some tools and some advice. Like I know, especially for myself, naturally, obviously haven't parented younger children, so it's slightly different because Cam's an older age now.
Yeah.
But I realised that some of the like my tone, I try and be, I've spoken about this before, like the soft parent. I'm not, though. If I've got to be really honest with myself, my stress and like my daily overwhelm, I worry like creeps into my children sometimes. And it's something I'm trying to be really conscious of. But once you get into a habit and then your children get a bit shouty, because my children are at the age where they're getting so frustrated with each other, what would be the first steps? Like, do you need to go on a course straight away, or is there like some practical advice that you can give?
Courses are brilliant. So courses are really helpful because they sort of put you on a path. We were talking about baseline. Sometimes it's good to know what your baseline is as a parent as well, to kind of think, what kind of parent do I want to be? What do I want to be able to achieve with the kids? Is it calm parenting? Is it sort of, what's your leadership style look like? And kind of moving in from there. Courses can be great, but also reading books is really helpful. Watching influencers, whatever you feel will add value to your parenting, because I think parenting can be quite stressful, and a lot of parents just put a lot of pressure on themselves as well, and sometimes it's tackling whatever's in front of you and thinking, right, what's the best thing I could do? What strategy can I use to tackle what's in front of me? What is my child going through? And leading with empathy and thinking, what is it that my kid is experiencing right now? And how can I best help them? And a big part of that is actually staying calm. So if you can stay, and this is hard.
It's the hardest thing, isn't it, in a high stress situation?
Yeah, it is. And if you kind of always revert back to, right, okay, what would I do if I was at my calmest? Or when you're later on down the line, you know, that evening, if you're reflecting on what happened, like we all do, God, I really wish I didn't have that kick off earlier. I really wish that this didn't happen. You can kind of have a think because you're calm, and you can think, how would I have dealt with that differently? And just make a mental note of that and think, right, I will do that next time.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I think that sometimes it's healthy to kick off. Right?
Okay.
I think sometimes you need to have a row.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You need to be able to have a row, you know, maybe be dysregulated. Maybe the moment actually calls for dysregulation, because I feel like in our culture, like, dysregulation is like this bad word and like everyone has to be regulated all the time. But sometimes like dysregulation is a biological response that happens in stressful situations, your body's way of saying something's not quite right here. And sometimes I wonder if having a row and being able to repair is better sometimes than suppressing and constantly trying to be regulated, because I feel like people who grow up in environments where they can't have a row and repair become quite can sometimes become quite repressed, manipulative adults. Sometimes you say, you're a prick, yeah, you're a prick, and then you go away, you have assault, you come back, sorry for calling you a prick, yeah, I'm sorry, felt like this, da-da-da-da-da, and then repair and then move on. Not saying that we say that to our 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
But I do think that there should be space for a bit of a row sometimes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Am I being very toxic?
I don't think it's toxic. You're being honest. And sometimes the pressure can get to you. And a row can sometimes just really, really help the situation. Yeah, you've got that emotional release. And actually it is a regulation. It's a form of regulation when you have a 10-minute rant.
Yeah.
With
Kate
kids,
loves a rant. Don't you, Kate?
Well, I do have a few rants, I've got to be honest. I have a rant. And I do, when I'm having the rant, think, I'm bored of my own voice. Give it a rest. But there's so many children. That's the thing. It's like, I agree with what you're saying, Nats. I agree that it's okay to have disagreements. It's okay to then address them. I think that's like children should see that, because they're going to go through that in their life. But when there's constant madness in your house, like children are fighting and running and screaming and teenagers aren't listening and like everything is just a complete whirlwind, you can't have that every day. So how as a parent do you manage with like the kids having a physical fight in front of you, pulling each other's hair, they're screaming, they're kicking each other? I'm like, okay guys, come on, don't kick your sister. Cree, get off your sister now. That's what I'm going to be honest. That's what I do. That I'm outing myself here, because, and then I shout, and then I notice, I think to myself, why are you shouting? And then I notice, I have to be honest, that they shout at each other, and it's only going to be from me or Rio, because we get to a stage where we shout, and it's like, how do you stop that pattern?
Yes. Yeah.
If they're beating each other up.
That's kind of the pitfall, isn't it? Because if children, we're almost modeling the behavior we want our children to reflect. And if they're seeing us kick off and just constantly be having aggro, then they're going to think that that's the way that they can deal with their emotions as well. Whereas if we can try and get to a place where we're able to communicate effectively, resolve conflict, talk about our feelings in a way that is what we want them to do. We want our kids, when they're kicking off, we want them just to say, look, I want to watch TV. No, I want to watch that program. I want to watch something different. Okay, what shall I watch my program first and then you watch your program afterwards? Yeah, fine, we'll do that. Like, we want them to be able to work things out amicably without a punch up.
Yeah.
But is that realistic with siblings? Because I never had siblings, so I don't know. But a lot of people that I meet say, like, siblings close in age, they do just fight. And I don't shout at everything, but when they're like got each other by the hair, would you just be calm and say, come on, darling, off of each other's hair?
I think you'll raise nutters if you do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, shout at them, you know. Sorry, I don't have kids, by the way. I don't have any biological kids. But I had lots of godchildren, and, you know, I've been around lots of children, not the same. But, like, you can't see two kids physically hurting each other and be like, okay, children, stop.
Absolutely.
Like, that's a complete misalignment in, like, energy. I don't support, like, smacking children. But sometimes you've got to shout at them, because you say, like, oh, you don't want to shout because you don't want to model that behaviour. But you don't model pulling hair and kicking. They're still doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Someone said to me the other day, what they do with their child, I don't know what advice this is just let them go at it until something happens. And I just find that really difficult to just watch them hurting each other, because it escalates. Because like Cree's 5, but he's the size of a 10-year-old. And Shay's 2, but she's the size of a 6-year-old. But Cree's got a lot more power over Shay. So I can't let him, even though she starts it most of the time and she's the little feral one, he finishes it, but he's so much bigger than her. So what do you do in that situation?
You've got to be firm and you've got to get involved, because you don't want anyone to hurt themselves. So it's literally like, stop, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Or if somebody's biting, you know, hey, teeth inside. Teeth are not for biting. You know, you've got to give a clear instruction in the moment. So it doesn't have to be a huge stop, what are you doing? You know, like a massive shouting, because then you're kind of adding to their chaos. But you're giving a really firm and clear instruction to stop.
And that might be part of the problem, that people are responding with gentle parenting with scenarios and situations that just don't call for that at all.
Yeah.
I feel like you've got to find the balance, because like shouting, which I do sometimes, obviously isn't right, but really gentle parenting, they don't listen to either.
Yes.
And it's all well and good saying gentle parent, but when your kids are fighting every 5 minutes, it's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, you don't want to be the negative energy. You don't want to be like constantly shouting at your children. You want to have a happy home life. And that's hard enough with biological children. So all I'm thinking of, all the step families out there and the stepmoms and stepdads that are trying their best to like parent these kids that are not listening to them. What on earth do they do? What, do you know what is a good question, actually? What would be your number one tip for a parent who's struggling, like universally, to make change now?
I usually see family life as like a training ground for the real world. So like you were talking earlier about kids kicking off with each other and fighting. And is it really realistic to imagine two kids getting along, you know, like the Brady Bunch? No, it's not realistic. Kids are meant to argue with the siblings. That's how they're learning about the world. They're learning about conflict resolution. They're learning about his and hers, sharing. You know, there's lots of learning that goes on. And home is the training ground for that learning. And as parents, we can learn the skill to teach them how to do the thing that we want them to do. So if it's conflict resolution, for example, teach the kids how to resolve an argument. You know, really be neutral. If they've had a kick-off, you do intervene and say, stop, that's not okay. Separate them, give them a chance to calm down, bring them back together, and be the neutral person in the middle who says, right, guys, what happened? You know, let each person give their perspective. Let each person say what they want the other person to do differently next time and what they would do differently next time, so that they take accountability for their part in the argument. And then they learn what a healthy conflict resolution looks like. And I love it when I work with parents and we go through this process. At first, parents are skeptical because they're like, that's not going to work. My kids are not going to sit there and have this conversation. But they really do. Like, kids do want to have their say. You know, they want to be vindicated in this argument and say, yeah, my brother pulled my hair, or, you know, snatched my toy, or whatever it was. And then the other party kind of wants to give their perspective as well. And after you've done this a few times, kids are like, no, Mum, we've got this. We don't need your involvement. We can sort out our own arguments. And parents tell me that their children then start helping their friends at school resolve conflict.
Nice. So the big thing there is the neutrality of the parents, because if the parents are trying to teach conflict management, but then take a side and say, you were wrong or you were wrong, then that changes the entire dynamic. But if it's just about the parents facilitating them working it out between themselves, that then becomes how you kind of help them to deal with it between them.
But obviously that's age specific though, right? Because like, you have to tell a 3-year-old if they're wrong, if they've hit someone. You can't pretend that you don't know they're wrong. No?
Yeah, absolutely. You'd have to say that, you know, kind hands, kind feet. Again, a really clear rule. Having rules in place is really important, because kids otherwise are trying to work out their way in the world. Like, is it okay for me to hit? Is it okay for me to bite in this situation? Is it all right for me to kick my brother in that situation? So having clear rules is really helpful. That's what boundaries are. So if you say, like, in our family, you know, people and property are to be kept safe. We have kind hands and kind feet. We give each other personal space. You know, you have your own set of family rules. And then when it comes to a situation where somebody has broken that rule, you can sort of remind them and say, hey, remember what we said? Kind hands, kind feet. And that works really well with a 3-year-old, because they are like,
does it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not doubting this. When you're saying personal space, I've got like visions of my children like jumping on top of each other. Like, it got so bad that I have to be honest, even Crete, so I told you earlier, he speaks in his sleep. We all, like me and my 2 biological kids, really speak in our sleep. And poor Rio, because he's got the monitor on and me, and we all speak in our sleep. But this morning, Cree was like, no, he's asleep. Shay, get off of me. Leave me alone. And I thought, oh my God, the poor kid's traumatized. He's even having a go at her in his sleep.
Yeah.
The
So this
beef
whole
is
personal space
24/7.
thing.
Yeah.
I know, the poor kid can't get away from her. But there's the younger child, it is hard to have personal space in a family, no?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah. Reminding them that we need personal space. Because if one of the children does prefer their personal space, the other one is kind of is pushing their buttons. They've worked out, this is the way to annoy my sibling. This is the way for me to get vindicated and be the good kid, because then they're going to get in trouble for, kicking me because I've got in their personal space. Kids always kind of, and this goes back to the sibling rivalry. Kids always have sibling rivalry. They want to be the favorite child. They want to be the one that their parents are going to look after. It's almost like part of their survival. They need to know that mum and dad are going to love them no matter what. And a sibling is almost like another person coming into the family.
It's a threat.
It's a threat.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard once, I read this thing where they described having, when a sibling comes into the family, is almost like if you bring another adult into the family, like if you brought another husband into the family, or my husband brought another wife. How would I feel if my husband brought another wife into our home?
Can I just say something? This is reminding me of Tate. Tate and Lorenz, when Kate and Rio first got together, they said, oh, if they have a baby, we're going to put it in the cupboard.
Oh, wow.
They changed their minds.
Yeah.
They love the kids, but they had a...
Don't worry, they've not been put in the cupboard.
And they've not been put in the cupboard, but they had like a heart-to-heart episode.
Yeah.
And he said that the two boys were not supportive of another baby. So that absolutely makes sense that they saw the baby as being a threat.
Absolutely.
Or almost like another adult that can go in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely. Like, I didn't grow up with siblings, but having so many children together now, like, it's an amazing bond. Sometimes I look at them and think, wow, like, how lucky are you that you've got each other? You experience everything together. But I also think how annoying as well that you just got these little people following you over and you can't even breathe. Like, I look at some of the kids, they just want a minute. And there's so many of them everywhere. Like these little minions running after each other. Do you know what I mean? You just can't breathe. But then on the other hand, I was like lonely in my childhood. So it's like a funny one, siblings, isn't it? But I feel like I'm learning a lot watching my kids, because I never had that.
When you were saying about your siblings teach you to like navigate the world and understand dynamics, I was like, so am I autistic or am I just an only child? Because I've always found dynamics, people, what's appropriate, what isn't appropriate. I've always found that like really, really difficult, and I feel like more difficult than others. I'm like, yeah, it could just be only child syndrome, or just a bit of a weirdo loner, really. Anyway, should we get on with the dilemma?
Sorry, we're really getting, no, because this subject's actually so interesting, especially when we're both only children. I think only child, everyone's like, oh, she's got only child syndrome. But actually, siblings have their own little set of issues as well, really. For sure. Siblings can be quite... My husband's one of 7.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And
so is Rio. Oh my God, you're an only child. I'm an only child. And Rio's one of 7 and you're one of 7.
Oh
and Stacey's one of 7.
I did not know
We're
that.
twins. We're twins. Right, okay, we've got to stop talking about ourselves. We're getting into the dilemma because you're here to really help us today. Right, my daughter is 6 and she still has tantrums almost daily. It's usually when she's told she has to come off her iPad or that screen time is over. The second I say it's time to turn it off, she melts down, screaming, shouting and crying. I honestly don't remember having reactions like that at her age, and I'm starting to wonder if this is normal. I don't give in. I stick to the limit. It's about an hour a day, and I usually try to ignore the shouting or calmly suggest something else she can do instead. But I don't know if that's actually helping or making it worse. She's also an only child and struggles when friends have to go home or when I pick her up from someone else's house. The goodbyes can turn into full-blown meltdowns. It's embarrassing, especially when her friends seem so calm and so well behaved. I worry she'll get teased or that other parents will judge her behaviour.
Well, Mum's doing something really well here. She's got screen time limits, and having a limit of an hour or less is great, because it's a boundary. It's she sort of said no more than that, and she's staying firm on that as well, which is great. The thing is, with screen time, it is very addictive, and it gives the child that dopamine boost. And if she's an only child as well, the 6-year-old's an only child, coming off that iPad is going to make her really upset. It could make her feel really upset because she's got nothing else to do afterwards. It might bring on the loneliness feeling. And mum's described sort of not understanding that feeling and thinking, I don't understand this massive tantrum. But tantrums for children are almost like a panic attack. So it's when your emotions are just so, just so hard to handle that you just have a meltdown. You just cannot cope with the fact that the iPad's been taken away, or your friend's having to go home, or that you're having to leave your friend's house. So yeah, tantrums are things that children can get into the habit of unfortunately, a way of them expressing how they feel. But now it's really important for mum to help her learn better ways of dealing with her emotions. And one way she can do that with the iPad is she's got the limit of the hour, but now she can start to say to her daughter, like, I've noticed that when we switch off, you're having a massive tantrum, you're really upset. Maybe we need to have a look at that, and educating her daughter as well, and saying to her, screen time can affect you. Maybe it's affecting when you're coming off. What can we do to help you switch off calmly? And ask the 6-year-old, what would you like to do? How could you switch off calmly? What can you do afterwards? Maybe making a list of things you can do after you've switched off, like a board list or something, just so that she knows how to, what she's going to do once the iPad goes off.
Such a great idea. Almost like she could be like, to keep that dopamine going, okay, what comes next? And she can like choose off of her board or something, the activity that she wants to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. In the moment, dealing with a tantrum is really hard. Really, really hard. And as a parent, like this parent's described, feeling embarrassed at the friend's house, it can be embarrassing, especially when it's in public or when it's going on for a long time. It's exhausting for parents. So if a child is having a tantrum, what you can do in the moment to calm that tantrum is to validate how the child is feeling. So just imagine this kid's feeling something huge right now. Saying, oh my gosh, yeah, you were enjoying that program. You didn't want to switch off your iPad. That's validating how the child feels. And the child will then say, yeah, I really did. That they'll feel like mum understands. Often, what we'll do inadvertently is invalidate our child. Like, no, you've been on it for an hour, you've got to switch it off. It's almost not really validating how the child's feeling. It's rationalizing it and explaining why they need to switch it off. And that can be counterproductive. That can actually make a tantrum escalate and spiral. So easing it is validating how the child's feeling. Your friend's about to go home. Yeah, I know. You were having such a good time with your friend today. You and Ella have had so much fun today playing upstairs. You wish you could play for longer.
I was just going to say, it's a very modern thing, this, because our parents' generation used to shut shit down with a glance. Yeah? Just a look. And it was like manners. But it's just we always talk about the completely different way of parenting now.
Yes.
And we probably are, it probably is healthier for children to be able to express themselves and to parent in this way. Just makes me think about the differences between generations, which we always kind of come back to on this podcast.
Yeah, it is crazy. But to be honest, I don't do that. Maybe I should do what you're saying, because I will be the parent that would say, come on, you've been out all day, we've had a really good time. Don't push your luck. It's time to go home now. So is that bad parenting? That's what I need to know. I won't shout at them.
It's not bad parenting. It's you're not happy at the fact that they're not happy. And as parents, we want our kids to be happy, right? So we're just trying to make them feel better. It just doesn't make them feel better because they're feeling like, oh, she don't get it. Mum doesn't get it. Okay. She doesn't understand how I'm feeling right now. Whereas if you lead with empathy, if you lead with, oh no, I do get it. Yeah, you're having a brilliant time here. you're having such a good time. Yeah, you wish you could stay here for longer. What it does is it makes the child feel like, oh, she gets it. Yeah, I would love to stay a bit longer. Yeah, I bet you would. I can't wait to come next time. It's going to be so much fun.
But what about when they go, well, just let me then, Mum. You know I want to stay for longer. Just let me, Mum.
Yeah.
You're saying I want to stay. Why won't you let me?
Yeah,
What do you say then?
And then you'd say, why do you think? Yeah, why do you think? Oh, because I have to go home. Yeah. And they kind of, they already know. They know they've got to go home from the park or they've got to go home from their friend's house. And it's just being on their side, being on their team so that they know that, oh yeah, Mum gets it.
Okay, why do you think? That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm making a mental note of all of these, by the way, just so you know.
Tone is important. Like if you say, well, why do you think? It's kind of different to, oh yeah, why do you think?
Have you seen that thing on Instagram where like you've got to say a word in like a different tone? Yeah. It might be, have you seen it? Like the reels and everyone, have you seen that, Nats?
No.
It's trending.
Oh, it's so funny. They might say a word like I can't think like what, say they say, why do you think? It's not that. But say it as like angry, sarcastic, loving, but we should practice that now. So why do you think in a nice way? How am I going to say it to my kids? Why do you think? Why do you think, darling? Is that okay?
That's it. That's perfect. Yeah.
Now sarcastic.
Okay, you go. Well, I'm not very good at tones. That's the thing. Sarcastic. Why do you think? I don't know. You do it, Nathalie. I'm nervous.
Sarcastic's difficult. Yeah. Oh. I can't do it. I feel like I'm going to do something silly. Why do you think?
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Oh, why do you think? Yeah. Dismissive.
Dismissive.
Why do you think?
Why do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's all about the tone. Do you know another thing which is interesting as well is that when children are having tantrums, there's different ways of handling it. What is the right way to handle a tantrum? Because older generations would see children having a tantrum and feel like you need to tell them off in that moment because they're screaming and shouting and it's unacceptable behaviour. Yeah. Physical harm, absolutely. Like they'll look at you disgusted, like control your child, right? Whereas my kind of parenting in that scenario, although everyone would think that my kid's out of control, I just think there's no rationalising with them because they're completely on one. So there's no point in having a go at them even more because they're already past that limit. But sometimes I am questioned. So what is the best way to handle a full-blown tantrum?
Yeah, no, Kate, you're absolutely right. When they're at the tantrum stage, that they're gone, they're past it. There's no reasoning with them. There's no point trying to rationalize anything. It is empathizing with how they're feeling in that moment. And you've got to kind of work out what works with your kid. So when I work with parents and their children are having tantrums, we will try a few different techniques and tweak it depending on what works for the child. Some children like you to validate how they're feeling in that moment. Oh my gosh, you really wanted that toy. Yeah, you really wanted that. And you, yeah, I get it. Some kids like that. Some just need silence and they just need you to be there to pick them up, give them a cuddle. Some kids don't like a cuddle. They just want you to be leaving them alone. When kids have got to a tantrum, and I was actually at the hospital a few weeks ago, and there was a kid having a tantrum, and you know, I'm sitting there with a broken finger, and everybody's there with some sort of ailment, feeling some sort of way, but nobody had sympathy for this child who had been screaming for 10 minutes in whatever the...
Why are they screaming though?
Whatever was going on in the room. So maybe the doctor was asking them to move their finger or move their arm.
Sorry.
It was in the fractures department.
Okay,
so
fine. Yeah.
It's all to do with fractures. And she's really upset. You could hear she was having a really tough time.
Oh.
And then she came out, she was crying. And then her mum was trying to console her. And she's like, I hate you, go away. She's only little. She's probably about 3 or 4 years old. And then she starts punching her dad, and her dad's like, come on now. They're trying to reason with her, but she's just really upset. And everyone in there was like, oh my God, what a naughty little girl. And I thought that's one place where people would have sympathy for her and really empathize with her, because we're all feeling like this is awful.
Yeah.
Some of the things that you have to do in hospital are hard. And especially when, you're being prodded and poked by the doctors. But people don't. They do see a child who's having a tantrum and think, oh, what a naughty child.
But you know, another thing is another question, because I think when a child's having a tantrum, and you said one of the options is to cuddle them, which I would agree to do, but is that then giving in to the child that then keeps being naughty and they get away with behaviour because you cuddle them when they're then having a tantrum? Do you see what I mean? And then are they going to think that they can, oh, mum will cuddle me or dad will cuddle me anyway?
Yeah, I think it depends what you classify as bad behaviour, because a tantrum is the child is basically dysregulated. They're having an emotional breakdown. And you would, if you saw somebody having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, you would empathise with them and you would kind of be there for them in whatever way they need. Whereas when a child's having a tantrum, we often attribute that to bad behaviour. It's really difficult for a child, once they're in that dysregulated state, to regulate themselves. They do. Co-regulation is when you help the child regulate.
Yeah.
And then in the way you help them regulate, what happens is that as they get older, they learn to regulate themselves from what they've been modelled.
Yeah.
So what they've seen from their caregiver is what they then give themselves. And if the caregiver's telling them off all the time, oh God, no, I've said no, that's it. As they get older, they start to think, no, I can't have these biscuits. No, just don't, it's your self-talk essentially. In the situation with the sweets and the supermarket, if you know your child's got form and you know your child's going to go to the supermarket and say, I want this toy, I want these sweets, you have that chat with them beforehand. We're going to go to the supermarket. Have you brought your pocket money? If they've got pocket money, you might have a rule where they can buy whatever they want with their own money. But you can decide, like I say to my kids, I'm not going to use my money to buy that today. But it's up to you if you want to buy it with your own money. Generally, 9 times out of 10, they don't want it anymore when they're spending their own money.
Relatable.
Yeah. But if they don't have pocket money and that's not an option, then having that conversation with them beforehand. Look, we're going Asda, we're going Tesco. Before we go there, what do we need to do? What do we need to buy when we go there? Yeah, we're going to get food. How are you going to feel if you see a toy that you really want? Oh, I'm going to feel sad. Yeah. So what are you going to do? What's mum going to say when you say that you want that toy? Mum's going to say no. Yeah, mum's probably going to say no because we're going to buy milk, bread and ham. That's all we're going to get. So it's just prepping them beforehand, ideally like a few hours beforehand, so that they're imagining themselves at the supermarket, behaving well, not asking for the toy. And then when they do ask for the toy, yeah, I can see you really wish you could get that toy.
I just don't think I'm really trying to see myself talking like this, but I just can't. I'm going to practice. I know you really want the toy. I know you do.
Yeah. Patronising.
Yeah, I feel like, but you're not having it today, okay? Because I just find that.
Yeah, the but.
Was that patronising?
Well, the but negates what you've said. So if they really want this toy and they're like, no, I really want it, and you say, I know you really want it, but you're not having it. It's kind of like you're almost negating what you've said, that, yeah, you get it. Oh, yeah, you really want this toy. And sometimes I might even look at it and say, wow, we should add this to your wish list. So it's giving them
okay, so you
options.
never say, no, you're not having it. You say, yeah, I know you really want it. So when they ask something, you never say no.
I say, I'm not buying it with my money.
I love that.
Okay.
You can make some money and buy it, broke bestie.
Yeah.
I'm not planning on
Get
buying
to work, Shay. Shay's too. Get to work.
Get to work.
Well,
Shay.
like in Portugal, to be honest, they were stealing my money. Like they found all like coins in the drawer and they were like taking it all. And they're like, we've taken your money. We've got to, and bless Creed took it out. It was like, I don't even know what they were, like small little euros. Has brought it to go shopping and things like that. So how cute is that? Okay, one more thing. I think we need to talk about screen time, because I also think screen time is a massive issue here. 100%. And like limiting screen time. A lot of children do have tantrums off of screen time, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as an adult, it's hard to regulate your screen time because it's become such a thing that we're kind of addicted to. I personally, I've said this before, my kids watch TV and they do come home from school and they'll put it on for a certain period of time. Not every day, but some days. And at the weekend, we'll watch a movie. But my children don't have iPads anymore because the iPads just sent everyone cuckoo. Like they just started becoming crazy on it and really angry when they were coming off it. Like kind of the lady in the dilemma saying, huge tantrums, throwing things everywhere, just like, I don't know, it really got into their brain. And I've found since I've stopped the iPads and just put like a film on the TV or like a program rather than like those short episodes, I've seen a massive difference. And I always thought I'll never be able to cope without an iPad in the car. There's no way my kids, I'll be able to go in the car without an iPad. Or there's no way I'll get on an aeroplane for 8 hours back to the UK and my kids can't have an iPad. The thought of it used to scare the life out of me. But it's much easier than you think it is, surprisingly, because they just get used to a new normal.
Yeah. It's funny how quickly they adapt, right? And it's just like, by every single measure, it's better for them. Every single measure.
Yeah. One thing when I work with families who've got iPads, Chromebooks, because schools give children Chromebooks as well. So sometimes they need it for their education. I work with parents to set up boundaries around the usage of iPads and Chromebooks and TV as well, because TV can make some kids spiral as well, especially with a lot of the sensory stuff that's out there now, with the younger children especially.
What does that mean? Like the cocoa melon and all the noises and the dopamine triggers.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And it's exactly that. It triggers dopamine. It gives them that reward of an instant thing. They don't actually have to physically do anything to get that reward sensation in their body. Yeah. It's just watching something and they get it. So the thing that we need to remember is that children are eventually going to use iPads and Chromebooks and watch TV and things. So we do want to teach them self-control. So one of the things I help parents do is set boundaries and rules around usage of iPads and iPhones. So it's, done their chores and everything. And if they've had good behavior for an hour afterwards, then that means they've earned the hour for the following day. But if they haven't, if they've had this tantrum when they've switched off, if they've had bad behavior, if they've been punching their brother an hour after screen time, then the following day you'd say, so you earned 15 minutes of screen time today, or you earned half an hour of screen time. And what it does is it slowly teaches them to have that self-control.
Interesting. So you don't pay your kids to do chores anymore. You give them device minutes. So like, if you clean your room, if you do this and do that chore, you get 5 device minutes for each chore. Well, could you do something like that?
It's not, I wouldn't say it's that. It's more that you've got to have your jobs done before you kind of sit and have that leisure screen time.
Yeah. Fair.
So if they're doing homework and stuff, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if it's leisure screen time, then they do need to have done their jobs beforehand. They can't be switching on the TV if they've not even done their homework, for example.
It's hard though, also. It must be difficult for children when we're telling kids or teenagers to get off of their devices and we're on ours. Yeah. Because our devices have become something we use for leisure and for work, and everything's on there, admin, banking, you name it, it's on there. So I, for example, might be quite a bad example of that because I do a lot of work bits on my phone and you wouldn't be able to differentiate between what I'm doing at what time, and that sets an unhealthy boundary, and I think a lot of parents have that issue as well.
Yeah, no, it is hard.
Sorry, an unhealthy example, not boundary.
Yeah, no, it is hard as parents because we want to model what we want them to do, and we can obviously we can explain, well, mum's doing work, mum is working right now, but we can model other healthy usage, like we could keep our phones out of our bedroom so it's not sleeping next to us. At dinner time we can have it locked away somewhere so that we're having like a phone-free meal. So it's kind of modeling things that we would want them to do when they're older as well. And even now, like, do you really want to be eating dinner when your kid is on their phone? No. So we would put ours away as well so that they know that that's what we're expecting of them as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much of what we've discussed today kind of comes back to parents need to be regulated before they can model that to their children. Parents need to come off devices before they can model that to their children. And these are all challenges and difficulties that adults are dealing with, probably at the same scale that children are dealing with them as well, and that the children are only mirroring what we're seeing in society with adults.
Yeah.
Probably lots of adults let their children sit on their devices at the dinner table because they're also on their devices at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and as adults, we're completely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like, I do say no phones at the dinner table. I do say that. But it all creeps in sometimes. I'm going to be honest with you. We've got a box. Do they always go in there? No. Do things pop up? Are you overwhelmed with lots of things? And I don't know, someone's calling you. It's not necessarily going on social media. It's just like that kind of, that overrunning of all of your life. I don't think there's a cut-off anymore. Like, you go to work 9 to 5 and then you don't connect with anyone after that in regards to anything to work, any life admin, any school admin. It's like it just all pours into one. I don't feel like, even I don't have very clear set boundaries in my own life because I'm always overwhelmed. I'm always running behind the task.
Yeah.
So I'm always playing catch up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Our kids aren't looking for perfect parents. They're not looking for us to be perfect and have all the answers. But what they do want to see is, how is mum dealing with her overwhelm and talking about it? Like, I talked to the kids last night over dinner. I said, I'm really nervous. I'm going on this podcast. And, how I'm dealing with those nerves and, what I'm going to do when I get there and that kind of thing, so that they can see that we're just normal human beings. We have our challenges and we can talk about what those challenges are and what we're going to do to tackle them, so that they can see, like, this is what mum and dad are doing to deal with their challenges as well.
Maybe my problem is I externalise what I'm feeling to whatever environment I'm in. Is that bad? Like you said, it could be completely inappropriate at work. Absolutely, I'll be doing it. I just feel better when I do it, but that's probably a bad thing.
No, same. And I think that's, we've got a touch of the kind of ADHD. I always say I've got a touch of autism. I think that's just part of like our disposition, that we're kind of unique in that way, and not everyone's so expressive. But like Kate's an expressive person. Like, she's on conflict, she's on facing everything head on, not in a negative way, but she just, things don't stay hidden, do they, Kate? Like, you just want to deal with stuff and you're very comfortable doing that.
But that makes other people uncomfortable. That's the thing. Yes. But it's not really a conflict thing. It's just a bring it up thing. But maybe should that be refined as well? But actually, I like that in my kids. I look at them. I look at like the teenage kids, and I've been in their life a long time, and I feel proud that I've had a part to play in them being able to just say it how it is.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Tate, when he come on the podcast, for anyone that hasn't seen it, a lot of people said, I can't believe he's been so open and said it how it is. I love that he has. I love that he can just voice how he feels, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But I just think it's other people that struggle with that sometimes. They don't like that.
Yeah. Best kind of humans in my book. Best kind of humans.
Yes, saying that.
Where, like, you know where you stand and you can repair.
Yes.
You can deal with
Absolutely.
things. Yeah. You can have a row.
Yeah.
By the way Nat talks about me, you think I'm very Aggie. Back in the day, they used to call me Aggie Maggie. But I'm actually not that Aggie anymore. I've got to be honest. I'm in my more calmer era. So you wouldn't have liked to have known me when I was Aggie Maggie, Nats.
I think you're still Aggie, but you just do it in a softly spoken voice.
The same message, but in a softer tone. Exactly. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
We've got lots of dilemmas here, but we've talked so much around the first one that I think I've realised that we haven't really spoke about a stepchild in this scenario and the non-biological parent dealing with this kind of conflict. How do you think that differs if it's a step-parent dealing with like a child's tantrum, and how should they handle it?
That is a really good question. When you've got the step-parent dynamic, the step-parent can't really take on that discipline role until they've established that relationship with the child. If they start getting involved with rules and routines off their own bat, the child is not going to take that well. Those rules and routines, those boundaries need to be agreed between the parents first and communicated to the child as a family unit, being led by the biological parent. It's so important. A lot of the time, especially as women, we kind of come in and think that's our role, the nurturer, almost the one who needs to discipline as well. And it just doesn't work when you're the step parent.
Yeah, so how would you do, okay then, the biological parent's out, the stepchild's having a massive tantrum or saying I hate you or whatever. How does a step parent deal with that scenario when they're the sole parent that's there?
Honestly, it's the same as if you were the biological parent. It's empathy. It's saying, yeah, I get that you're really annoyed about whatever it is. You really wanted to watch your program. You wanted to finish it. Empathizing with how they're feeling in that moment is going to help diffuse that tantrum. Because then that child, and actually it works even it's more important for a step parent to be able to validate and empathize and speak from that place of positive discipline rather than punitive discipline, which is what we're kind of used to. We're used to punitive over positive, but positive discipline is really the way to teach a child how to behave differently.
And I suppose that builds trust, doesn't it? That's like a way of building that bond and that trust with your stepchild, where they feel psychological safety because they're like, I've had a meltdown and they didn't scold me or shame me. They, even though they probably wouldn't think about it in this way, but what they received was comfort and empathy.
Yeah. With a tantrum, it's fine, but when it's I think there was a dilemma where somebody had said, you're not my mum, you can't tell me what to do. In those situations, it is so important for the biological parent to be heavily involved in the routine and rules, because that biological parent is the one then who is making sure that the child is on board and they're collaborating to solidify what those rules and routines are in the house, so that when the step parent is saying, oh, it is bedtime now, they're not saying, well, you're not my mum, you can't tell me. Well, no, I know I'm not your mum. And in this house, we go to bed at 7:30 and lights go out at 8. So it's almost being able to say, well, these are the rules of this house. This has been established in the family system. And the biological parent is the one who's kind of spearheaded and led that. So it's a lot of it is leadership skills.
Yeah.
You make it sound very simple and easy, but I feel like it's much more complex than that, because they might not follow the rules. They might not want to do it. There's so many more things that come after what you say.
100%.
Do you see what I mean? Like, you say that and then that can lead on to a whole nother set of like emotions, actions.
Yeah.
And as a step parent setting rules, you are going to upset the stepkid if it's not what they like. You're going to upset any child, but for some reason it feels more personal when it's a stepchild.
Yes.
I think personally.
Yeah. This is why rules can't just kind of be given to children. Like, right, it's kind of like if you just set the rules as the parents, it's like you're laying down the law. Whereas if you collaboratively set those family rules and say, look, I've noticed that, guys, we're going to school late every day. Like, we're late every day. Nobody's happy about this. What should we do, guys? And you and your partner have already had that conversation and agreed, yeah, like the kids need to be ready and downstairs by 7:30. And, you've already worked out what the routine needs to be. When you're then collaborating with the kids, you can take their ideas. Okay, well, maybe I catch the bus, or maybe I do this, and you get everybody's ideas and you kind of just say, right, okay, guys, from what we've discussed, it sounds like we're all going to be getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Everyone needs to be down by 7:30. We need to all be out the house by 8. If you guys want to watch TV after breakfast, that's fine. But before that, this and this needs to be done. Everybody on board? Great. Let's see how we get on. And it's just having those conversations, like family meetings.
No, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm being negative here, but like, it doesn't run like that. I've had those conversations for like 8 years with the kids.
Yeah.
Now Lorenz and Tate are grown up. I'm having the same conversation with Tia every other day. Yeah. And it's a lovely, calm conversation until it's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because she's never down on time. Like, and it's jarring.
Yeah.
And it causes chaos within the house. So I think you can have these I just don't know if it's like realistic in like frantic family life for the calmness to stay there throughout the whole period.
When it's a situation like that, it does sound like she probably needs a bit more independence, like having her list to work through, like sitting down with her and saying, look, what do you need to get done in the morning? And how long
I do this all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Every night before she goes to bed, I say, go on, Nats,
No, I was going to say, I hate to say this, sorry, Tia, but are there consequences?
You're going to upset her. She really likes you, you know.
I know, and I like
we had
my
another
Tia,
one.
but sorry, girl.
We did have one more this morning because it's got to the stage where I said, like, I can't keep having the same conversation every other day because it's draining for you, it's draining for me. We've done the nicey, and I could lose it in the upcoming days. This is what I said. And then when I lose it, everyone says, what's happened to Kate? She's a psycho. Or Kate's mental. What's happened to Kate? So I said, we're going out, you're living a lovely life, you're doing your best life. We're going to have some kind of balance. This conversation cannot happen again. And if it has to happen again, you can't have your phone or go out at the weekend. Yeah. Has it sunk in? Yeah. I'm unsure.
Has it happened? She's going to call your bluff and you got to follow through, ain't ya? She'll make it downstairs if she's like, oh my God, if I don't go downstairs on time, my weekend is over.
Yeah.
Sorry,
but
I'm
I don't think
sorry,
she's scared.
Tia. I feel awful. It's not my idea, really.
Like, should your kids be scared? Sorry.
Yes.
Should you parent through fear?
Not fear, but consequence, no?
The fear of consequence.
Responsibility, like...
Absolutely, consequences are fundamental to rules and routines. If rules are not followed, there are consequences.
Yeah.
The natural consequence, if she's not getting to school on time, is that she's going to be late. You're going to be annoyed. It's not going to be a nice morning for anyone. These are natural consequences.
But she don't care about that.
If she's not bothered
but I think she does.
Yeah, because
she does care about that.
It sounds like she is. And sometimes kids need that help. Like
oh, I'm going to be really angry. Oh.
It's great she does care. Been honest and said, look, in a few days, I'm going to kick off. Like, I'm going to go absolutely ape.
Can I just ask, Kate, what does kicking off look like? Bit of a raised voice.
It's quite a raised voice, yeah. It's quite a raised voice. I know we're being calm and collected. By the way, anyone that listens to this is going to think I have not got my life under control here. But I also think anyone with kids of all different ages, it's a hard bag trying to control them and stay calm 24/7.
Yeah.
It's near on impossible.
It is.
Or is it just me? Anyone that's listening, am I the minority here? Or is parenting, especially getting out of the house in the morning, everyone on time, is that a struggle or is it just me?
It can be so stressful. It can be. I've got 3 children. So my children are 7, 10 and 12. And for quite a few years now, I've just, because I'm not a morning person, I like to get ready. I like to have my own space. So we bought the kids alarm clocks. They've all got their checklists of things they need to do in the morning. They know what time they need to be up. I'll go around, just make sure they are up, but they do get themselves dressed, ready, downstairs on time. And the reason why they do that is because we've said that that's the expectation. We know that they're capable of this. And once you've got the expectation, it's just helping them get there.
I was just going to say, what if like the curls aren't curling properly? And like their hair isn't going right for Tia and she's having you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I do get it as well. Like I'm a woman. Yes. Sometimes my hair doesn't go right and I take 5 minutes longer. Yeah. So I feel like it's hard, isn't it? Right, anyway, we've got to wrap up now. We've been talking for a very, very long time.
Tia, please absolutely don't hate
me. Absolutely loved having you on. I think having your perspective is going to be really great and your advice for so many people, because I think whether you're in a biological family unit or a blended family unit, we all face the same issues, and parenting is hard, and a lot of people make it easy, but it's very hard. So thank you so much. Thank you, Nats. Thank you to everyone watching and listening. If you are watching on YouTube, then please remember to subscribe, to rate and to review. And please keep sending your dilemmas to the Blended Instagram, and we'll be here at the same time next week, 7 a.m. on Wednesday. Mwah.